Daredevil Born Again, episode 9. We're here. We made it. I don't know exactly how we got to this point because some of the episodes have been good, other episodes have been absolute trash. But here we are. We're at the season finale. Everybody keeps saying that this episode is going to be really good. I think last week's episode was dope. Last week's episode was awesome. I enjoyed it. But I have been hyped up about episodes before and they have turned out to not be very good. So I'm hoping that this one is going to actually live up to all the hype. We got a lot of things to talk about in this 30 minutes before the show drops. We got a lot of things to figure out. We got a lot of things that we can break down and think about before we get to the point of the show actually starting. So, first thing first, what do you guys expect to happen on this episode? My one prediction is we're going to get a lot of Punisher. And Punisher is going to take out that fake Punisher group of fake police officers at some point during this episode. I think I'm going to go heavy with the sound effects today for no reason at all, just to do it because I'm tired and I'm excited for the show. So yeah, if you're watching right now, what do you think is going to happen tonight? What's going to go down? Also, if you're watching right now and this is your first time checking out Watch Stuff with us, I'm JD. And if you want to become part of the family, you got to do one thing for me. You got to hit that subscribe button.
Come on. Do it. Come on, do it now.
You heard Arnold. He's telling you to do it now. Hit that subscribe button, man. I want to get to 400 subs before the end of the show. I'm just going to put it out there. I know that would be like the greatest show that we've ever done on this channel if we can get like 30 some odd subs in one night. But hey, why not? Why can't this be the night? Let's make this be the night. So yeah, if you're watching right now, our order of ceremonies for tonight is going to be us breaking down episode 8, doing a little bit of a deep dive into episode 8, and then we're going to watch the show. We cannot show the show on stream, as I say all the time, but I will have a timer up and you can sync up your stream with mine so that we can watch the show together and talk about it together. And then after the show is over, we will do our instant reactions to everything that happened on the show. So let's go ahead and get things going for this recap. I am going to use my man MT's video from Heavy Spoilers to get into everything that happened in episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again. So yeah, big shout out to everybody over at Heavy Spoilers. But yeah, I like to use these videos as a bit of a jumping off point so that we can discuss and recap everything that happened on the previous episode. And episode 8 was definitely eventful, so this should be fun. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Watch Stuff with us. I'm JD, and we're going to be doing a bit of a deep dive into episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment below, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time we go live in 2025. And we are going to be watching a Heavy Spoilers video from that amazing channel hosted by none other than MT. And we'll use that as a jumping off point to discuss everything that went down on the last episode. So let's get it going.
What's poppin', my Daredevils? It is me, MT, and welcome back to the Heavy Spoiler Show. And because of that, expect heavy spoilers for episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again, because we're about to talk about all the details about this episode that you might have missed during your first watch. So let's make like Bullseye and take a shot at this thing, shall we? The episode begins with the song Stillness and Panic by Norwegian pop artist Hein Kolsto, and it's accompanied by the visual of a blue rose surrounded by a world covered in a blue hue, mainly to match Bullseye's blue costume that we saw at the beginning of the series, and a costume that takes inspiration from Bullseye's look from his solo comic book series from 2017. This blue rose is one of the few distractions that old Benji Poindexter has available to him from his not-so-cushy cell that he was thrown in. And starting
Yeah, when we first started, I did not know where we were going with this initially. I was like, what is this blue rose about? Where are we at? And then we got to the prison point, and then I figured out, like, yeah, this is gonna be a Bullseye episode. So yeah, I figured that out relatively quickly, but not instantly like some people did, I'm sure.
this episode off this way is super symbolic, as blue roses usually represent something unattainable or impossibly unachievable. Mostly because blue roses are not a naturally occurring thing on Earth, typically only created through artificial means. So this blue rose on the outside of Bullseye's solitary confinement seems to represent Bullseye's desire for freedom and revenge, something that seems impossible and unachievable from his heavily guarded and locked down point of view. The words "I see it now" are fittingly repeated throughout this song as well, as the eagle-eyed Bullseye would be able to see a path towards his unlikely freedom over the course of this episode, thanks to the uncontrolled rage of one Matthew Murdock.
Yeah, I didn't even realize the whole part where that we get into eventually with Bullseye breaking his tooth was because Matt had slammed his face on that desk so many times. I just now got that part. Just now figured that part out. But yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. And he held on to that tooth all that time just so he could eventually spit it in somebody's face and get enough wiggle room that he could take those guards out and make his escape from prison.
Who he would invite over to his prison cell for a chat later on. And side note here, but like, I never understand why TV and movie characters always visit the crazy guy in prison. Like, in what universe do you think that talking to the psychopath is going to make the rest of your day better? Like, we saw
So true. So true. And that is always a thing. People go and visit the person who's crazy. They visit that person and ask them questions. And then they end up upset by what the person says. Like, yeah, that makes a ton of sense, doesn't it?
Eddie Brock's dumbass do that same shit in Venom 2, The Crimson Goo, and guess what happened? A psycho escapes jail. Peter Parker talked to the Sinister Five in Doctor Strange's dungeon, and guess what happened? Psychos escaped jail. And remember when that cop talked to that jailed Joker in The Dark Knight? Guess what happened? A psycho blew up a police station and escaped jail. Stop talking to the psychos in prison and go call your dad instead. He misses you very much. But unfortunately for Benjamin Poindexter, he's going to have plenty of people to talk to when he's moved from his solitary confinement to a cell alongside the general population of prisoners. A move that would almost certainly guarantee his death given enough time. And while Bullseye is being transferred, Bullseye tries to tell the guards that he's ESH, which is apparently a new term for the supervision of enhanced individuals, which the law has apparently defined Bullseye as. Likely due to those cognium injections in Bullseye's spine that allowed Bullseye to survive that long fall from the top of.
Yeah, I don't know about this. If MT says that he is almost being sentenced to death by going to the general population, I don't really think so. I don't really think so. I think that Bullseye should be able to pretty much handle his own even when he's there, as long as, I guess, unless, you know, you get 30 people going after you at one time or something like that. But yeah, I didn't take it like that. I took it like what I thought was going to happen in the episode was that he was going to go into that general population and then end up becoming friends with some people, and then they were going to do something to help him get out.
Josie's bar, because outside of that particular surgery giving him drastically increased durability, this MCU Bullseye does not appear to have any superpowers whatsoever. He's just pure perfected talent, much like both the Hawkeyes are. But regardless of that, it is clear that these officers have no love for how the rise in enhanced individuals has begun to change how they classify and organize their prisoners. Yet another way that Daredevil Born Again continues to lay down more seeds for a world that is growing in hatred towards all kinds of enhanced individuals before the coming mutant saga. But what's also clear is how old Benji Bullseye believes that he's not supposed to be a.
And notice that Bullseye's hands are bound. That was one of the things I picked up on real quickly. And then later on in the episode, when he does his breakout, hands not bound, huge mistake. There's no way that these officers would be moving this guy in any other fashion in the way that they're moving him here. So whenever he got to the end of the episode and he had his hands free, that would have never happened. And that's definitely a plot hole. Definitely a plot hole. So it was not a perfect episode. It was a good episode, but not a perfect episode.
Amongst the general population at all, almost like he was exclusively promised solitary confinement by some sort of figure of authority, one that we learn later to be the former Queenpin, Vanessa Fisk. And it's a queen that we see alongside her king after the intro credits of this episode. Wilson finally takes the time to properly thank his wife for holding down the Fisk empire and the five families while he was away for all those years. And it's crazy to see how ruthless and
doing a breakdown of episode 8 real quick before we get into episode 9, the season finale of Daredevil Born Again. If you got comments, drop them now.
Who we learned in a previous episode apparently does not work for Mayor Fisk, but for the man, implying that he works for the United States government, much like his comic book counterpart does. And if this is the case, then it's quite likely that Vanessa Fisk ordered Foggy's assassination in order to keep him and his client from squealing about sensitive information about the Fisk family.
Now we know, spoiler alert, we know that Foggy is supposed to appear in next season's at some point during next season's episodes. So I'm wondering, are we going to get anything alluding to Foggy actually being alive somehow, some way, or are we going to have Foggy come back next season and it just being like sort of flashbacks and stuff like that? But I'm hoping, hoping for something spicy, hoping for something a little crazy, and maybe somehow, some way he's still alive. But they're gonna have to make it make sense. Make it make good sense too. Can't just be something stupid.
Possibly even incriminating information that could have landed Vanessa behind bars. Because later on in the episode, when Matt is talking to Josie and Cherry at Josie's bar, he comes to the conclusion that Foggy was celebrating the night that he was killed. Like Foggy knew that he had his particular case in the bag, a case concerning some guy everyone refers to as Dumb Benny.
The guy rips off a bonded warehouse, gets caught on surveillance, and then he tells the cops he found 20 cases of Lafitte Rothschild on the subway?
He's gonna walk, you know.
You sound confident.
Okay, so according to Kirsten, this Dumb Benny guy was arrested on the subway after being caught dead to rights on a security camera stealing 20 cases of some fancy Chateau Lafitte Rothschild wine from a warehouse. And some would say that that's an open and shut case, with Dumb Benny being absolutely legally and royally screwed. But Foggy did not seem to think so, and seemed to have a secret ace up his sleeve that he refused to tell Kirsten about. And if Matt came to the conclusion that Foggy was confident enough to celebrate at the bar with Kirsten before he was silenced by Bullseye and Vanessa Fisk, then the most likely scenario here is that this Dumb Benny guy was willing to become a federal informant, telling federal agents whatever they want to know about his involvement in street or gang activity, with that information potentially being majorly damaging to Vanessa Fisk and her operation. So I would not be surprised if Vanessa specifically used Buck Cashman as her point man to get rid of both Dumb Benny and Foggy once and for all, with Buck using his government influence to promise their hitman Bullseye that he would only spend a little time in solitary confinement before they helped spring him loose from prison.
Much deeper than I thought. If this is actually what happened.
Whip out that Uno reverse card on their deal with Bullseye, hoping to silence him in order to get rid of loose ends. So Buck then probably sent Bullseye to general population to get stabbed for his shoes and commissary and whatnot. And this is likely why we see Cashman himself looking to confirm Bullseye's death while on the phone with that traumatized prison guard after Bullseye's escape. And like I brought up before in a previous video, I truly would not be surprised if it was revealed that Buck worked closely with CIA Director Contessa Val, as Val has helped the Fisk family cover their tracks in the past, specifically when Val hired Yelena Belova.
See, that's the thing that I wonder about this. Like, that's an awesome connection, and it makes total sense. But are they willing to tie Daredevil into the larger MCU universe? Like, it seems like Marvel has been reluctant to do things like that as of late. So I'm a little skeptical on if we're actually going to get that. Xavier, what's going on, man? He says, you know what time it is. Yes, sir. I know exactly what time it is. Daredevil Born Again, episode 9 time. So you know what's coming up. Thanks for coming back, man. Appreciate you. Hit that like button, even though I got a feeling you already have. Appreciate you, man.
To kill Clinton Barton in order to keep Hawkeye from spilling sensitive secrets about Fisk's empire and associates. But anyways, Wilson decides to bring Vanessa to a secret dinner dungeon where he reveals that he's been torturing Vanessa's
Dinner dungeon.
playing Adam for banging his wife while he was gone. But despite Adam promising that he would never tell a soul about his torture, Vanessa would still take the initiative to end his life, just so her and her husband can move on from that unfortunate mistake in their marriage, taking the absolutely wrong lesson from their therapy sessions with Heather Glenn. Vanessa's killing of Adam very much mirrors that of Heather's killing of Muse, as both of these women are the significant others of the show's major hero and villain who used 4 bullets to get rid of an artist that jeopardized their future. However, the aftermath of both of these killings have opposing effects on their respective relationships, with Matt and Heather now beginning to fight and grow apart as Wilson and Vanessa bond over a dead man's corpse. And we, of course, cannot forget to mention how both of their artist victims died near a blood-splattered white canvas, with Adam dying near Wilson's blood-stained
I did not pick up on that. Yeah.
and Muse dying on top of a bloody tarp of a canvas. But speaking of Heather, she and Matt argue about the true psyche of masked men like Daredevil and Muse, with Heather's opinion of them having been drastically changed after almost being killed by her last client, Bastion Cooper. But their argument would be interrupted by the man of mystery, Buck Cashman himself.
I feel like one of Vanessa and Heather are not going to make it through this final episode tonight, because we're going to have something, or maybe both. We're going to have something that will fuel both of the Daredevil and Kingpin moving forward. So I think that maybe they'll continue to be linked through their sorrow, I guess, as we'll say. Xavier says, I wonder if they will speak on Bullseye's adamantium spine. I think they're going to somehow. I think they've already mentioned that he is. I mean, we've already seen that he's an enhanced individual. So I don't know if they're necessarily going to say that it's adamantium or if they're going to use something else. I know I made a whole video on it. Go back and watch it if you want. And I tied together all the points on how it was in the comic books, it was adamantium, and how that can be related to everything that's going on in Captain America: Brave New World. So check that one out if you want.
With an invitation to the mayor's black and white ball benefiting his Red Hook revitalization projects. Matt begins to angrily object to Heather's involvement with the Fists, which causes Heather to get frustrated and confused with Matt, as she has no idea of his past vigilante history with the Kingpin of crime. So Matt literally just looks like an angry and controlling boyfriend here, which she just doesn't get. Matt then heads to the offices of Murdock and McDuffie, where Kirsten tells him that Bullseye was moved to the prison's general population before specifically requesting to talk to Matt. And this is before we are brought to the mayor's office, where we can see actor Vincent D'Onofrio purposely sticking his stomach outwards to accentuate how big Wilson has gotten over time, as he's begun to embrace his former bad eating habits, while he also gets reacquainted with his former darker half. And on the mayor's desk is a series of
I loved how they showed him that as he took his as he started to descend further and further into the darkness, that he went back to eating like heavy foods, more portions. And then when he was trying to be a good guy, or trying to be a better guy, trying to be Mayor Fisk, he was eating like a soft boiled egg with one sprig of asparagus. Like, come on, man, that's what he was feeling. So yeah, I wonder if next season we get a Fisk who's like gained some of that weight back even more and becomes closer to like the comic book representation of Kingpin. Tommy, what is up, my man? What is up? Yes, we are ready for this, sir. Thanks for joining us again tonight, my man.
His new anti-vigilante task force following his news conference taking credit for the takedown of Muse. And the rightmost newspaper is from the New York Examiner, a popular newspaper in the MCU that's been featured in projects like The First Avenger, Spider-Man No Way Home, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Agent Carter, and Netflix's Daredevil and Punisher. And the headline of that newspaper is actually Stopped and Fisked, a play on the term stop and frisk, referring to the practice of cops detaining individuals and patting them down based on their own suspicions. Something that we see the task force do firsthand when we watch them dip that news nerd's hand in some hot kitchen grease. Like, holy shit, why would you do that? That's a man. That's another human being. And in light of all of this favorable publicity, Fisk decides to name Daniel Blake his new deputy mayor of communications. Something that Sheila is not too jazzed about, considering how she promised that she would outlast Daniel Blake's time with Fisk in an earlier
Ain't gonna
episode.
happen.
But Fisk is impressed with Daniel's ability to keep BB Uric in line. Something
I
he
think
has
that
struggled to do
Daniel
with her
is
uncle when he decided to kill
I think
him.
Daniel's gonna stick around for a long time on this show, man. I think that we're gonna see him rise up even more to be Fisk's right hand man, because he doesn't really have one at this point. Xavier says, can't wait for the Bullseye and Matt team up. Oh man, I can't wait for the Matt and Punisher team up. So the Daredevil and Punisher team up. That's what I'm waiting to see. That better happen in this one. Christian Harloff said this episode was fantastic and amazing and everything you wanted it to be in the finale. Yeah, I like Christian Harloff stuff. I was scrolling through YouTube earlier and I saw that he had already had his review or his instant reaction to the episode. So he obviously got the episode super early. If you're watching, start shooting me these screeners early, and then I can review them, and then I can start getting, 40,000 views as opposed to the 40 views that I get on these shows now.
Later on in the episode during the ball, we learn that BB has been secretly trying to infiltrate Mayor Fisk's operation from the inside, using her connection with Daniel in order to help her rub the right shoulders so that she can use her platform to bring Fisk
Seattle Ryan in the building. What's going on?
Of Police Commissioner Gallo, and tells him that although the Fisk administration has forced her to write favorable articles towards them, she still writes
100% Fisk is setting Daniel up,
She
man.
would be more than willing to publish whatever Gallo knew that would nail Wilson Fisk hard.
I don't know how much longer the police commissioner is going to be around either. I got a feeling he's going to be out the game relatively quick too. There's no way that he's going to start giving out that information to BB, and then Fisk is going to find out and they're going to take him out. He already knows too much already.
Series that dons a mask in order to act as a crime-fighting Avenger, although she does it with a pen instead of actual weapons. But anyways, back at the office, he is confronted by Kirsten for being so checked out of his job lately, as his identity as Daredevil begins to override his identity as Matt Murdock, the responsible lawyer. Matt tells her that he's growing tired of not feeling like he's part of a system that actually dispenses true justice anymore, feeling like all he and Kirsten do is babysit chaos as it continues to fester and grow, showing that his conversation with Frank Castle earlier in the season definitely awakened him to this reality. And I'm a big fan of how this show continues to underscore Matt's short-tempered nature, a character trait that is infamous in all of the men of the Murdock family.
So yeah, man, that was a little bit of a deep dive into episode 8. We are going to get into the season finale of Daredevil Born Again, episode 9, in a few minutes. So thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us. I'm JD. Don't be a stranger. All right, so let me catch back up with these comments. Seattle Ryan says, not much. I missed the watch for Last of Us. I'll be here for it this Sunday. You missed it. So disappointed, man. No, it's all good. Yeah, make sure you hear next time. Okay, come on. Tommy says Last of Us was really good. I'm hooked. Yeah, man, it was great. A lot of build up in that first episode, and I didn't realize how many different scenes from that episode were like straight from the game. Like I watched another breakdown, and yeah, there were so many scenes, like the whole thing in the dance, like the little ball dance thing that they had at the end, that was almost like shot for shot. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that went down. We got our first appearance of the Stalkers. Like that was cool. So yeah, man, I'm excited. Ryan says, just got home from work. Gotta get situated so we can watch the last episode. Yes, sir. So we can watch that last one. Can't wait. I'm gonna be spamming my soundboard today. I finally got my soundboard like all up and running. So yeah, that's why I'm going a little overboard with the sounds today. So y'all just gonna have to bear with me. Tommy says, not ready for the ending. Everyone is scared of bruh. Yeah, man. Oh God, I can't wait. I'm super hyped for this show specifically, since this last episode is definitely one that they reshot and supposedly made it better. So I'm guessing that last episode, which was really good, was the same way, and then we're going into this episode and it's the same way too. So I'm expecting it to be good, man. We got 5 minutes left until it's time Yes. So get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Um, one last question, or at least one other question that I was thinking of. If someone is going to die in this episode, who do you think it's going to be? I already said that my guess was um was Heather. Yep. Heather and or Vanessa. So I'm gonna go on a limb, say both of them. Both of them. Michael McKenzie in the building. What's good, man? Welcome back. Appreciate you for hanging out and coming back again. Yeah, we're gonna be watching the episode shortly, man. It is time. It is time. You guys have rolled with me through, for so long, man. Going back 3-4 episodes, y'all was here. Now y'all here again. I feel like we've known each other forever. So no, I really appreciate you guys for hanging out, man. This will be fun. This will be fun tonight. I'm really hoping it's good. I'm really, really, really hoping it's good. And if you haven't already, I got somebody special to tell you something that you should do right now.
Hey, it's me, guys. Cornelius reached out to me and asked me to tell you all that Katie and JD are awesome. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to watch stuff with us. I love them. 3,000.
Yeah, none other than Robert Downey Jr. with the shout out. Appreciate you, man. I know you're not watching right now, but you already hit the like button when I uploaded this, so I appreciate you, man. Mike McKenzie says, love channels we can start to be a part of. Yeah, man. Like you guys are in on the ground floor, the base level, the base level of watch stuff with us. So I really appreciate y'all for hanging out with us, man. Like, yeah, this is and the me that you see now when I got 474,000 people watching this episode all at once, I'll still be the same. I'll still be chatting with y'all. I'm gonna remember my day ones, all my day ones. Yes, that is Robert Downey Jr. What do you mean AI? I know the actual RDJ. Yeah, duh. My producer Cornelius really knows him, and he got him to cut that little promo for me. Believe that. My producer also is just telling me now that he has someone else that he'd like to say something.
Donald Trump here, my friend JD and Katie hosts this great show, an amazing show, the best show. Watch stuff with us. Hit that like button. Your nation depends on it. Make America great again.
Make America great again and hit the like button. Like, you heard that guy. I don't even really want to say his name, but you heard that guy. And my producer, who's sitting right off camera over here, you can't see him. Maybe I'll turn the camera over there one day so you can check him out. But his name's Cornelius, and he has hookups. So yeah, he was able to get that hookup as well. I guess he knows some people in Washington, D.C. as well. So yeah. But anyway, we got 2 minutes until the episode drops. If you got some final predictions, go ahead and get those out right now. And as you can see, I got my stuff loaded up and ready. As soon as the episode drops, we will be watching. So still not here yet. Okay. Yeah, when I was watching The Last of Us, the episode actually appeared 2 or 3 minutes before 7:00 or before 8:00. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Mike McKenzie says no. Yeah. We're not gonna get too political. I just appreciate my producer Cornelius getting us to hook up with somebody as prominent as that is. Appreciate him. So yeah, we got 1 minute left, guys. 1 minute left. Make sure you get your Disney Pluses up and running, and we will start the episode together. I will switch over my screen now so that I can have my timer up. And like I said, I'll always have you guys' comments up there, and we can comment and talk about it together. So I will skip past I'll skip past. Okay, this is what we'll do this time. I'll skip past the recap. And then from there, if the intro comes up, I will skip past that as well. And then we'll just watch the episode. So any recaps, any extra stuff, I will skip past that. And I will say it on here. So I'm just waiting for the episode to come up. Refreshing my screen again. Is it there yet? Oh, it is. It is up. Ooh, the episode is entitled Straight to Hell. Oh man, that got me kind of hyped. All right, let me scroll down a little bit more. Okay. I clicked on it. Let me see if it'll load. Looks like it's trying to load. Yep. Okay. I'm going to skip the recap. The recap has been skipped, and I haven't pushed play yet. So I am going to start my timer in a second. As soon as I hit play, I will start my timer. So let's get a quick countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. Daredevil Born Again season finale. Got the choir singing. One year ago. Oh, wow. Vanessa meeting with Bullseye. Okay. Yes, I have started the episode. Already got leaked or get leaked. I have started it. You can fast forward a little bit to catch up with where I'm at. Hit that like button and that subscribe button too while you're at it, sir. Or ma'am, I guess. Or ma'am. Got them all matted up and everything, huh? I feel like she knew that he was still going to want to take out Fisk. Yeah, man. All the way on drugs in a mental hospital. And then she was, touching his hand and stuff, making him feel a certain way. Like she really cared about him too. Yeah, like he's all matted up. He can barely even write. Mm. All right, got the theme rolling right now. I don't see anything where I can skip the theme, so I'm gonna have to let it play. Just so y'all know. Ryan says she is a cold, manipulative piece. Yeah, big time, man, big time. And she's willing to do with that whatever. And I think for that reason alone, I think Fisk is going to become weary of her, and it's going to be curtains for her, because he has to know that she is and was pulling a bunch of strings behind the scenes. So yeah, man. Ryan says, I'm in. I'm here for it. Let's go. Right? Right? Yeah, man. I'm ready too. I'm ready too. I hope it's good. Hope it's good. Give me some Punisher, man. Please. I need some Punisher. I have not seen enough Punisher this season. We only got one episode of him talking. We need some action in this episode. All right, credits over. Let's go. Okay, so Matt survived. Matt survived. Dang, Karen, huh? Ooh. Yikes. Bullseye would have never went for a chest shot either. He would have shot Kingpin and blew his dome off. So there's no way that's accurate either. But you know, I'm not gonna go. Not gonna go there. More white with blood splatters on it. What does he know? Yeah, he did call for Karen, man. I know Heather shot him that side eye too. Real quick, like. Watching Daredevil Born Again, episode 9. Live watch party right now. You can sync up your timer or your Disney Plus with my timer on the screen, and you can catch up and be right where we're at. Ryan says, man, they feed off each other. Evil begets evil. Yeah, man. Hmm. So who's gonna be that threat? Hmm. Dang. Okay. Hmm. I mean, I wouldn't expect otherwise. He still's gonna want to take Daredevil out. Wow, I was right, man. Switch to a new white suit, I guess now. Hmm. Holy. Oh, who is this? Who is this at the hospital? Is that Gallo? Oh yeah, he's 100% going full Kingpin, man. That's why you see the return of the white suits. It was yeah. Somebody, it might have been you, pointed it out last week that the white suit definitely means he's going full Kingpin. She in too deep. She can't do that. I don't think she's gonna go against them. She in too deep now. What, he got a bomb? Yep. Ain't no way Gallo, right. Before I even read your comment, Ryan, I was gonna say there is no way Gallo's gonna make it out this alive. Who pulls out the needle like way outside the room like that? Oh, that's why Fisk wanted the Con Ed person. Blackout, huh? Okay. Okay. Hmm. Matt already gone. Yeah, man. Sheila's pretty too, man. I'm still a Vanessa guy. I would go Vanessa, then Heather, then Sheila. But Karen would be on top of all of them though. Katie, my wife Katie's in the other room going. Hey, you're not on the stream. So I can say what I want. You drool over Nick from Handmaid's Tale all the time. Mm-hmm. I love you. You above everybody, baby. I'll be smarty one. So Matt made it all the way out the hospital like that? Ha ha ha. Yes, sir. Frank in the house. Nightgown, man. It's going down. It's about to go down. Chopping them up. Oh. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus. Huh, huh, huh. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Ooh. Dang. Oh, oh. Oh. I can't even say nothing right now. Oh. Oh. Wasn't sure if Disney was gonna go here, but they going all the way. Yeah, filthy is the right word for it. Okay. Yeah, man. Frank out for blood for sure. Hmm. Look at Frank telling him to do it, Red. Hmm. Hmm. Dang. Were they supposed to have jumped all the way from that building all the way onto the top of that car? I know it's a comic book show, but man, that's not exactly believable. That's a long leap, but hey, it's good episode. Good episode though. Then they just gonna walk away, Karen. So Frank got the police scanner now, so he's gonna be paying attention to what they're doing. They're nailing this episode. Yeah, man. It's good. Karen, yes, yes, yes. Matt looking a little jelly over there. Matt looking a little jelly. All good, man. All good. Do what you got to do. Take care of the pup. If you're just now tuning in, we're watching Daredevil Born Again. Episode 9 is a good one. It's a banger. Something brewing between them, man. Okay, so we knew that the Punisher was going to take out the fake Punisher group. So we knew that was going to happen. So we still got a long way to go in this episode, man. Daniel out here flexing. See, this is what they need to show more of, like what's actually happening in the city, man. Definitely a bit of a weird love triangle between those three. Definitely. I wonder if something's gonna happen to Heather to free up Matt so that he can go after Karen, and then him and Frank will be, like you said, in the love triangle. Hmm. Now they blaming everything on vigilantes, huh? Man, where Spider-Man is right. Yeah. Any other Avengers? Anybody else outside of this crew? Hmm. Yeah, the show feels so much better having Karen back, man. Man, like it's such a different vibe. Oh man. Okay, so Foggy was definitely on the case. All right. He had figured it out. They were going to be smuggling stuff through the port. Okay. Dang. Jesus. Come on, Frank. Wow. I feel like they going even more hardcore than a Netflix show. Hey. Oh. 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 Mm. 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 Wow. Sheila is down, huh? Wow. Sheila done sold her soul to the devil. Wow, Sheila. Okay, okay. I mean, honestly, she doing what she got to do for herself. I get that. Oh man, hey, yo, sorry to hear that, man. For real, for real. Yeah, take care of what you gotta do, man. I'm really sorry to hear that, bro. For real. 'Sending prayers out to you, bro. For real, man. 8 years old, man. I got 3 dogs, man. I'm definitely a pet lover. So yeah, sorry to hear that, man. For real, like seriously. 'Take care, man. For real. I'll be back on Sunday. Don't worry. Of course, he didn't stop being Kingpin. Hmm. Can you really crush somebody's skull? Oh my God. In a napkin wife. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Jason, what's good, man? Happy Tuesday. Glad to be back with y'all again. Yeah, man. Welcome back. You came in for a heck of an episode, sir. It's really going down. Wow. I'm not sure I really know what to say. Vicious. Yeah, man. I don't I definitely never seen Marvel do something like this. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Give me all the R-rated stuff moving forward, man. So you got Karen trying to talk him off the ledge, huh? Okay. He does need a crew though. Can't do it solo. Need some help, man. Hmm. Still got time in the episode too. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Hmm. He gonna put her on, huh? Hmm. I don't feel like she would have done that. She knows too much. There's no way. There's no way. No way she would have just jumped in and did that. But I don't know. Maybe she on some forget Matt stuff right now. So you see Fisk getting his team together. What's Matt's team gonna be? It's a banger of a final episode, but I wish they would harp on the fact that Matt made Bullseye miss. Right. Right. And Bullseye don't miss. So Gallo resigned, never to be seen again, huh? Declaring martial law? Dang. If I gotta watch this show one more freaking minute without some more Frank Cats, I'll lose it. I know, they just moved on to the next day without explaining what happened with him. Got the whole city on lock, huh? Hmm. Hmm. This dude, he got cages of people. What? Come on, man. Frank? Yep. Interesting. There's your Frank, Jason. Not exactly how you wanted to see him, I'm sure. Dude, Kingpin is happy. Where the amulet at? Frank's prison hallway fight was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Yeah, man. Yeah. All the one shot fight scenes in this series have been amazing. Netflix and this one. Black suit Daredevil incoming. All right, man. What an episode. Skip credits. Something else at the end? Oh, post-credit scene. Post-credit scene, FYI. Don't get too close, Anthony. You gonna go shake his hand. Okay. Oh man. All right. 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 All right, everybody. That was it. Let me stop my timer. And we will get into some afterthoughts of the show. Hold on, let me switch my screen up a little bit. Okay. So we got a lot to talk about, but yeah, just quick reaction, man. Jason says, and if they really wanted to pay this off in a break the internet kind of way, ensues Spidey to return the favor. Yeah, man. I keep holding my breath for that. The only reason why I don't think anything like that is going to happen is because I feel like the Spider-Man that we currently have, at least Tom Holland Spider-Man, is not where he's at right now. I don't know where he's going to be at after his next movie or after Doomsday, but I don't feel like he fits into this sort of universe yet. It's too dark, it's too gritty. Like maybe he's going to go darker and get grittier, but the way he is right now, I don't think he exactly fits. So they have to change some things about his character a little bit, I think. But I mean, hey, it could work. It could work. But yeah, man, that was a heck of an episode. I'm gonna do a little bit of a recap. Started at 9:00 and go scene for scene through the episode so that we can break it down and do a bit of a review. Just the truth, just a cool cameo. Yeah, man, it would be. I think that. Well, I'll be happy if they somehow start to work in the Defenders. I think that with the way these last two episodes were, you can start to work in the Defenders. I know that Daredevil said that he needed to get an army. And I believe through some of the other stuff that I've been watching too, other channels, that he breaks out the black suit. I know in the black suit, when he was in the comics, he had a group of soldiers with him who he basically led. So it's going to be all out war, I guess, next season. So, and then I think he's really going to need the Defenders too. Gonna need Defenders. Gonna need some Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist action coming on with them too. So, yeah, man. Jason says, "Cause no one knows Peter. They could kind of bump into. That could work. That could work. That could work. It would have to be a different vibe. I still think it's got to be a little bit of a different vibe, man. A little bit of a different vibe. Luke versus Kingpin is a must see. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how they're gonna establish those guys in this universe. Since this is a little bit different from what we had before. So yeah, I'm interested to see how they're gonna establish all the folks from the Defenders. I think they can do some cool things with it. And if this last 2 episodes, like I said, if these are the vibe that they're going for, I think we're going to get some good content. And I like the way that the story has been told. We know a little bit more about some of those background characters now. So as you move forward, you can just focus on this group of people. Like, we don't really have to learn many new people. We got a solid group of folks who we know their backstory, and now you can just sort of move forward while incorporating some of the people and some of the storylines from the Netflix version of the show, and the Netflix version of the Defenders. We got Karen back. Rumor has it Foggy's going to be back next season. And I know in the comics, there was a certain point where Foggy actually faked his death. So I'm wondering if they're going to go that route. I don't know if they are, but yeah, they said that he faked his death. Or if the Foggy that we're going to get next season is going to be a Foggy from like flashbacks only, stuff like that. So yeah, I am going to go ahead and start recapping the episode now. Let me pull the episode up again so I can go kind of scene by scene. Big shout out to everybody who hung out with me on this episode, man. I truly appreciate all of you guys. All right, and if you make any comments or anything, I may not jump into them while I'm recording this little recap real quick, but after the recap is over with, I will definitely answer all questions and talk some more. Let me fast forward a little bit. Yeah, right there. Okay. Turn these subtitles off because I don't want those on the screen. Oh man, no, I don't want all that. Okay. All right. See, I said they nailed that episode. Yeah, man. That was awesome. That was awesome. Thanks for tuning into another episode of Watch Stuff with us. I'm JD, and today we are doing an instant reaction and recap of episode 9, the season finale of Daredevil Born Again. It was amazing, and I cannot wait to get into it. So yeah, first off, we will start the episode off with a flashback of a year ago with Vanessa meeting Poindexter, Mr. Poindexter, aka Bullseye, in the mental institution that he was in. So basically, she was looking to hire him to kill Foggy, pretty much, because Foggy, as we learned later on in the episode, was onto some things that Vanessa was doing and some of the plans that they had for expanding the port and also being able to take over and ship anything out of that port, bring anything in that they want, untaxed, everything. So yeah, he was basically had figured that out, that was happening. So she knew that she had to take him out. So she went to the mental hospital and talked to one Mr. Poindexter, rubbed his hand a little bit, and then she was able to convince him to take out Foggy, which is why we started the series with Foggy being shot and killed. Yeah, she was definitely very manipulative. You could tell that Poindexter was under heavy medication. So he was pretty much willing to do anything to get off of those meds and to be and to sort of be released and be free. So um yeah, then we get Matt, who is recovering from his gunshot wound in the hospital. Um and Heather was there you know, when he woke up. And one of the messed up parts, I guess you could say, it was kind of messed up, but the first name that came out of his mouth when he came to was Karen, and you could see that Heather was kind of like, not too cool, not too cool. So that, I think, kind of had a little bit of the reasoning for why she did and made the decision that she made later on in this episode, which we'll get into later. But maybe that was playing in the back of her head that, like, oh man, I don't know if he really cares about me, so why not go and work for Kingpin? But we'll get into that later. Yeah, so they had a long conversation. Basically everybody was telling him that he needs to chill out and sort of let things happen, let things slow down, heal up. But of course, Matt is not trying to hear that. Fast forward to Fisk and Vanessa hanging out. Oddly enough, having a near-death experience has brought them closer. And you could tell that you can tell that in this scene right here, where they sort of ended up sitting next to each other and consoling each other. So yeah, they're closer than ever. Their bond is stronger than ever. Fast forward a little bit more, and you had Fisk basically calling all of his people together to set up his plan for what he wants to do for the city in order to take the city back. Gallo, of course, was definitely opposition and did not want to follow through with the plans that Fisk raised. And because of that, you could just say that his days were numbered. And you knew that coming into this episode. You knew that after everything that had been going on the last few episodes, especially the episode 8, that Gallo's days were numbered. There's no way he was going to be able to withstand, you know, Mayor Kingpin coming at him. So then Mayor Fisk sends his head lackey to go take out Matt Murdock while he's in the hospital, because he said there's the only thing better than a basically the only thing better than a dead vigilante is or better than a live hero is a dead vigilante. So he went to go sent him to go take out Matt while he was in the hospital. And of course, you know, Kingpin is here looking down on his city. Like you could tell he was, as the episode went on more and more, you could just tell he was feeling himself more and more. He was getting back to that old Kingpin was coming out, and Mayor Fisk was sort of fading to the back. But yeah, so he ended up talking to, I can't think of her name, Sheila. Yeah. And basically gave Sheila an ultimatum, like to see where her head was at. So Sheila was definitely nervous and didn't really give him an answer at that point in time. But you could tell that she was sort of leaning in a certain direction. She doesn't like the direction that Fisk is going in. She doesn't like his choice of things. She doesn't like his brutal approach to things, but I kind of feel like she feels as though she's in too deep at this point, and that kind of gets explained a little bit more later. So yeah, you had Fisk's right-hand man going in. Looks like he was going to go and inject Matt with a syringe to kill him. And during that same time, you had Gallo and Sheila talking, and basically Gallo was saying like, "Hey, I know that you see what's going on. I know you don't agree with this. I know you don't want it to happen. Basically, if you can tell me everything that's going on, we'll be able to, you know, take this guy down." There's more about that conversation coming up later. So yeah, as you can see, the right after Fisk was talking to Gallo earlier in the episode. No, I'm sorry. Right after Fisk was talking to Sheila, he had one of the guys who I guess worked for the whatever the electric company is. He said Con Ed, but whatever the electric company is there, basically was talking to them in order to set up this blackout. So the blackout initially was set up in order to take out Daredevil. Daredevil was able to get away before Fisk lackey was able to come in there and shoot him up with something to make him to kill him, but he was able to get away with it. So Fisk, or I'm sorry, Matt somehow in his nightgown, in his hospital gown, was able to sneak away all the way to the hospital, or all the way from the hospital to his apartment in the gown. And lo and behold, once he got into the apartment, he realized that Frank was there. So we had the return of Punisher. They had a great conversation. I was glad to see him back, and I knew we were down to get some good stuff happening shortly. So they had a very, very, very good fight scene, which is one that I predicted in my last episode, that Frank was going to be there to take out the fake Punisher group that that Wilson Fisk had got together. And he definitely did that. This was by far the most violence and blood that I've ever seen on a Disney Plus show, episode, anything. Like this was crazy. Like it was a lot of up close and personal violence in this, and I was here for it, man. I was here for it. This is what I've been wanting. This is what I've been wanting out of this series. I think they could do a little bit better with the effects of the blood because it looks kind of fake, but I like the sentiment. I appreciate the sentiment, and it's something that I was not expecting Disney Plus to go like all the way in with, but they did, and they did even more later on in the episode. So, they were able to get away after taking out all of the soldiers in very violent fashion. It was a little bit fake with the way that somebody, I guess they threw in a grenade, and Daredevil and Frank were able to jump out of the window of his apartment, out of Daredevil's apartment, and somehow they magically landed on a car that had to be like 20 yards away. So I get you can jump out of a building and you might be able to get 25, 30 feet away from the building, but to get like 60, 70 feet, like almost across the street, I don't really believe that, but whatever. So they got out alive, hurt, but alive. So they met up with Karen, healed their wounds a little bit. And one thing that we talked about during the live stream watch party, which you missed out on probably if you are watching this after the fact, but we were picking up on some vibes that there may be a bit of a love triangle developing between Karen and Matt and Frank, and that they're both fighting over Karen a little bit. You could see Matt get a little bit jealous at certain points when Karen was talking to Frank, and Frank doesn't really do things to help out people, but he did something to help out Karen, and he told Karen like, hey, I did this for you. So yeah, it's definitely something there. I see everybody's comments. I will get to them as soon as I'm finished recording this. But yeah, more conversation between Karen and Matt. We had Daniel basically going in front of the city council and telling them that like, hey, I know you guys are doing illegal stuff. So I need your support on everything that's about to go down, which they would give him. A little bit of BB report there. We had Karen and Matt break into some files, I guess, that Foggy had saved up. And this is where they figured out that what Kingpin's plan, along with Vanessa's plan, was to open up the port and be able to run money, drugs, whatever they want to through that port and do whatever they want to with it. So that's what he was finding out. And that's why Vanessa had Bullseye take him out. Matt and Vanessa bonding a little bit. Like, it was interesting to see Vanessa kind of bonding with Frank beforehand. And then in this scene, she was bonding with Matt a little bit, and Matt definitely got a thing for her still. No matter what, he's always gonna be about Karen. Always gonna be about that Karen life. um. So yeah, we had Frank here, who decided to go figure out and find out where the rest of the Punisher crew were hanging out, or the fake Punisher crew were hanging out. And he walked up on them, as you can see right there. I wasn't supposed to play that, but yeah, he walked up on them and proceeded to take a bunch of them out, while they weren't trying to take him out. It was a very brutal fight scene right there. Eventually, they were able to wear him down enough to basically capture him. We'll fast forward a little bit more to Sheila, or I'm sorry, Gallo getting in the car right here. After his conversation with Sheila, Gallo realizing that the person driving the car is someone that he knew previously, but they now have the militia Punisher logo tattooed on their neck, so he know he's not in good company right now. Frank getting beaten up more by the rest of the Punisher crew. I don't know if we got to the point yet, but I think Kingpin at this point lets Gallo know that he heard the conversation that he had with Sheila. So now we know that Sheila is fully on board, or at least reluctantly on board, with the Mayor Kingpin agenda. So she sort of sold her soul to the devil and said that, hey, I'm trying to live, and she sold Gallo out. So that was messed up. And then we happened to see one of the most violent things I've ever seen in any sort of TV show, movie, or anything like that, where one Mr. Kingpin managed to crush Gallo's skull with his bare hands, which was, in the comics, Kingpin was very violent, and he also kind of almost had like superhuman strength. They never really explained where that came from, but in this, we got to see a little bit of a peek of that. And needless to say, I'm gonna have to cut a little snippet of my reaction to that, because I was not expecting it to go that route. I was not expecting them to show everything that they showed after the fact. They lingered on his cracked skull for a while, and I was just like, dude, it was crazy. Was not expecting that. So yeah, more Karen and Daredevil having a bit of heart to heart. Daredevil wanted to go in guns a-blazing, or Billy Club a-blazing, to go take on Fisk and his crew, but Fisk is down there rolling deep. Like, he has a whole militia with him now, so you can't do that. So Karen told him that they have to be smart about it. So Daredevil basically said that, okay, well, we need an army, and he's gonna go out and recruit an army. And we saw a little bit of that at the very end of the episode, where he was having his discussion with, it looked like, a few police officers, some people who we met, like Cherry, the bartender lady. I know his group is going to grow even more as the episode, or as the next season of the show continues. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. Being a comic book reader, I kind of know which direction they're going with that, and Daredevil does end up assembling an army. So yeah, it'll be kind of cool to see him leading an army, and then he sort of takes on an even more violent nature. So yeah, it could be setting up for something really good if they go straight from the comics on that. And we'll get some black suit with the double D Daredevil logo on it, which I've already seen some set photos that he's wearing it. So yeah, kind of knew that was coming, that he was going to end up recruiting his own army. But yeah, it's cool to see it actually take place and how it actually takes place. So yeah, they recruit that army. Fisk basically places Heather in charge of, I guess, like human health services or something, some sort of major appointment among his cabinet, I would say, for the city. And I think that Heather kind of took this partially because Matt, when he woke up, said Karen. Like, I think that she's in her feelings. She doesn't trust who Matt is. And I think that she is kind of turning on him a little bit. And this is part of that. So I don't know exactly where that's going to lead, if she's going to fully turn on him. But yeah, wasn't a good look for her. And now she's going to be, under Kingpin's thumb as well. So that was a turn that I wasn't exactly expecting. Then we had Fisk basically telling the entire city that they're on lockdown. There's a martial law being placed, 8 p.m. curfew, and the people are not going to be happy about that, but it's going to allow him to, basically control everything. And then we had Karen and Matt having more of a heart-to-heart before Matt eventually steps out, and you see the beginnings of his crew of people that he is going to form in order to fight back against Kingpin and his crew. We end the episode with Kingpin walking down the hallway to Vanessa, or with Vanessa, and you see that he has tons of people basically in cages. People who he does not want to kill, but he has them trapped in cages, including Frank, which we had a post-credit scene, and we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, had Frank in the cage too, while we got to look at different shots of the different characters and which side they're on. So yeah, it'll be cool to see exactly what happens. And you end the episode with the light on Daredevil flashing sort of from red to black, and then you end it with him, seeing him more in the black suit. So yeah, that's definitely coming. When we come back for next season, we're going to see black suit Daredevil with the double D logo on him. So yeah, can't wait to see that. And then we did have a post-credit scene where one Mr. Castle was able to convince a idiot guard to come over and shake his hand. He then proceeded to break his arm, which I'm assuming is going to be holding a key, and he's going to break out. So that's kind of where we ended things in this episode and for this season. So yeah, if I had to rate the episode on a scale of 1 to 5, I would give this episode a very solid 5 as far as this series has been going. It answered a lot of questions. It set things up for the future. It is going to prepare. It sort of laid the groundwork for everything that's coming next season. And you couldn't really ask for this show to do more, knowing how they had to change and edit things. So yeah, enjoyed it. I'd give it a 5. If I was rating it in the scale of like all of everything Marvel, I would probably only give it like a 4, maybe. Because yeah, you got things like Endgame and Infinity War. Those are 5s. Those are like about as perfect as you can get. But yeah, it was great, man. It was great. As far as this series go, by far the best episode of the series. But yeah, I really appreciate you for tuning in and checking out this recap. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment below, and just know that we have tons of watch parties going on for other shows, including The Last of Us right now. So don't be a stranger. Appreciate you for checking this out. Peace. All right, now let me run back through these comments, fellas. Let's see. Glad to see you back, Ryan. Let me see where we at. Okay, yeah, last thing we're talking about was with Jason and talking about the potentially having Spider-Man come in. Yeah, that'll be crazy. I don't know if it's the right vibe right now, but yeah, it would be cool if we can get Spider-Man in this at some point. I'm sure it's coming. It's cooking. Luke versus Kingpin is a must-see. Yeah, that's going to be great to see if we ever get that. Ryan says they nailed that episode, even had a post-credit scene. Yeah, when the post-credit scene button popped up, I was like, or it said skip credits or something like that. I was like, oh man, we got a post-credit scene? I'm glad they put that on there because I would not have kept watching through the credits if they had not put that on there. Tommy said, what do y'all think? I think you know what I think right now. Yeah, definitely a great episode. Said it was epic. Nah, where the heck is Spider-Man? Tommy says, where was Hawkeye or the Avengers? The city is under martial law. Yeah, that's the one thing that I don't necessarily like about these series is that they all seem very siloed. I think that's one thing that I enjoyed and do enjoy about the Marvel stuff is that it's supposedly and needs to be all connected. And you can kind of write off that like the Avengers aren't there, but yeah, where are the smaller sort of heroes at? Like there should be, Hawkeye should be around. Like you should have some sign that like, you know, they're not just going to let all this stuff go down. And then there's nobody else except for Daredevil out here fighting everything. So yeah, I hope that they kind of do that at some point. Tommy says, and how does this play into Thunderbolts? Yeah, now that I don't know. Like, you think the Thunderbolts are underpowered going against what is his name? Sentry and the Void. I mean, Daredevil and Punisher really stand no chance. So yeah, I don't know how they would tie them into this. But yeah, they're all in the same city, so something should be happening. Fisk popped his head. Yeah, he did straight up pop his head. I was not expecting that, and the way they showed it, it reminds me of a lot of what is that clown horror movie that just came out? I saw the first two. I haven't seen the third one yet. And I can't think of the name of it. You guys remind me. But it reminds me a lot of the gore and stuff from that, and that I was like, is he really gonna pop his head? And he did pop his head, and then afterward they showed like the messed up face and the cracked skull. Like, I was not expecting Disney Plus to come with some craziness like that, but they did, man. They did. That was wild. Seattle Ryan says, popped his head. That's comic book accurate. Kingpin is strong as hell. Yeah. Yep, definitely comic book accurate. I just was not expecting to see that on here, which is crazy. That was the most bloody, violent thing they've done since the car scene in season 1. Yeah, definitely. I think this was even worse than that, though. Like the amount of blood in this episode, the amount of like crazy kills, like knife kills, hatchet kills, gunshot kills, like head pop kills. Like, dude, there was a ton of gore in this episode, and I was not expecting that. Real excited to see it, though. This is exactly what I was wanting for. This is what I asked for. Tommy says, I'm just confused how this all ties to the bigger picture. Me too, man. I want to know that too. And I think that they set this up for it all to be connected, and I need to know how this is going to end up being connected. Ryan agrees. Ryan says, I think Kingpin hired her to keep close ties to Matt. Yeah, definitely. And you got to wonder where her allegiances lie. I don't know how she was able to sort of like turn on Matt that quick. That doesn't make any sense. Like, that, for her to have been as close to him as she seemed, for her to like flip like that, that seemed a little bit out of character. A little bit rushed. Like, if there was some other thing that like popped off that made her really, question Matt, I would believe it. But that seemed a little bit rushed to me. Ryan said 5 for sure. Tommy says, yep, he's trying to kill Matt. Full in. Yeah. Tommy gave it a 6 out of 5. All right. Really feeling it. All right. Yeah, definitely the best one of this series. But like I said, overall MCU, I give it like a 4, 4.5. Ryan says, indeed, Kingpin can hold her hostage if Matt has Kingpin in a predicament. Yeah, that's what's going to end up happening. I would have to guess that, and my prediction was wrong, that one or both of Vanessa and Heather were not going to make it out the episode, and they both did. So yeah, I'm guessing that moving forward, that not going to happen. One of them is going to have to go, if not both of them. It only makes sense that both of them eventually have to go. And with Heather kind of separating a little bit more from Matt, I think that it will make more sense for her to eventually lead the show. And possibly in a body bag. And Tommy says, nah, they need more heroes. Hopefully season 2, the Defenders come back, because ain't no way Spider-Man or any NY-based hero, even Captain America, Sam, to not show up. Yeah, they're going to have to do something. There needs to be some sort of acknowledgement as to what's going on. Even if they have like, some people have speculated that Val was going to show up in one of these episodes, so that there's a bigger connection to like what's going on, and that maybe she's going to do some sort of ties to Kingpin, since he's mayor of New York and she's in New York. One thing that I can see is that, and I think I've laid out my plan before, but the way I would like to see it is you would have basically 3 levels of what's going on in Marvel. You'd have all the street level folks based in New York City, with Kingpin being like the main villain of those folks. Then you would have your bigger Doctor Doom being the overarching villain for everything MCU and MCU Cosmic and all that type of stuff. And then if they hadn't wrecked the whole storyline, I would have loved to seen Kang be an adversary for the Young Avengers and the formation of that team. And then you eventually bring them all together to fight whoever, or to just have one big universal story. And that could have been amazing for Secret Wars, but we're way past that point. But yeah, so yeah, man, this was great. This was great. I really, really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, where do we go from here, folks? Where do we go from here? I know we got a long way to wait until we get until you know, our next season, but they are filming now, so I'm hoping the show comes out next year. That would be really cool if we got to this point next year and the show was already done, or maybe next summer at some point it was done. But yeah, Ryan, you are heading out, man. I appreciate you for stopping by, sir. I really do, man. Sorry to hear about your dog and stuff too, bro. I am praying and hoping that everything goes okay with your pup. I know how that is, man. But yeah, definitely we'll be thinking about you tomorrow and hope everything goes good. Thanks, Tommy, for coming through. Let me scroll through the list and see everybody who hung out and showed out tonight with me. Jason, big shout out to you, sir. Thanks for hanging out. Michael, Mackenzie, thanks for hanging out. What, you know what? Let me figure out something. What sound can I play for everybody coming through? Let's give everybody a round of applause tonight. Let's break out a round of applause. Yes, so Mike McKenzie for coming through, Seattle Ryan for coming through, Jason for coming through, Tommy for coming through. Who else did we have here tonight? Oh, man. Oh, my chat doesn't go all the way up. Oh, no. That sucks. That sucks. Maybe I can scroll through somewhere else. Oh, man. It won't even let me backtrack on here. Yes, it will. A little bit at least. But yeah, just big shout out to everybody, man. It's really tough to do these shows when you don't have a ton of people hanging out. But just to have as many people as I had and to keep the conversation going and to keep the interaction going, like, I truly appreciate you guys, man. Don't be strangers. Like I said, the Last of Us season 2 is out. I'll be here on Sunday doing a live stream watch party for that. So if you watch that show, I definitely would come and hang out for that one too, because that one's always fun. But yeah, big shout out to you guys, man. I love and appreciate all of you guys, like truly. Don't be strangers. If you ever want to talk outside of here, man, hit me up on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. The show is at WSWU show on Twitter/X, and then you can follow me personally on Twitter, or chat with me on Twitter at Jeremy JD Dorsey. That's where I'm at on Twitter, so you can follow me on there too. But yeah, if not, I'll see you guys in the comments, man. I'll see you for other live streams that we might end up doing. I appreciate you guys truly. And yeah, don't be strangers, and I will see you guys when I see you guys. Much love and appreciate you, man. Peace.